Hello my gorgeous loves out there and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to get into a new palette. This is from Nomad Cosmetics. This is their Ghost Town USA palette. It's their spooky Halloween launch. And I'm going to get into this, do some swatches, create a couple looks, and let you guys know if this is a good palette or not. But before we get into this video, if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Bri, and I am just a crazy lover of all things beauty, and I like to post a lot of fun and colorful makeup content. I like to do a lot on any makeup, so if that is what you're into, then please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining this little family. But with that being said, let's get into this video. So my loves, I feel like it has been a while since I've featured a Nomad palette on my channel. I know that they came out with another one previously, but I passed on it. It was a little too nude for my liking, but when I saw this one, I was like, you know what? I'm intrigued. I like the color story. It is a little bit more nudie, a little bit more cool tone, but somehow it just pulled me in. It was kind of smoky, and I love my smoky shades. So let's go over all the info for this one. So this is the Ghost Town USA palette, and this is the outer packaging. Like, look at that, absolutely stunning. And then here's the actual palette. This one goes for $49, and look at this freaking holographic image. So you see it's like a regular town and then it's a ghost town. That is genius. I love their artwork. And then inside is where the beauty is. So there is a big mirror, and then here are the shades. So let me go over the description with you guys. So this one is obviously inspired by the ghost towns in the Old West in the USA. There's 18 shades in here. Some of them are gritty hues, precious metal highlights, and they also have some like cool tone mattes, as well as just these glitzy shimmers. It also is infused with prickly pear cactus seed oil that's supposed to help keep the colors fresh. It's also cruelty free and vegan. And the cool thing about this palette or this launch is that they are also supporting a charity or some kind of foundation. Yes, it's the Birds of Prey at the Peregrine Fund. And it says the Peregrine Fund has been conserving birds of prey worldwide since 1970 and works to prevent extinction, protect habitats, engage people, and address threats to raptor population and their ecosystem. So every time they do a launch, they usually support some kind of fundraiser, charity, foundation, and they give back with some of the proceeds from the palette. And the charity or foundation that they usually support with the launch is usually located at where the palette inspiration came from. So I think that's super cool. Also just really love that about the brand, and I just love the whole travel theme. So that was all the info about the palette, and I think some of these formulas might be new. Like, I don't think I've ever heard them describe some of their shades as precious metal, so we are going to see what I think about the formula in here. So I'm gonna get a little closer. We're gonna do two looks, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts at the end. So we are up close and personal, and now you can see my messed up hair, but ignore that please. But I did go ahead and use the Kaleidos Tone Activator Primer. I did not set it. I am going to create like an exaggerated wing shape. So we're gonna start off with Dogwood, the darkest shade in here. I like to do this look when I'm wanting a lot of drama and I want to make something still interesting even if it's on the neutral side. So I'm just using this like flat little brush right here, and I'm gonna like create the shape while my eyes are open. I'm getting a little bit of fallout because I dug into that shade really hard. And then dust off the excess, and then I go like this. Because I want it to like be like that, so I don't know, it's just kind of like creating an exaggerated wing, but because since my eyes are hooded, I want you to be able to see it while my eyes are open like this, if that makes sense. And then I'll fill it in. So now let's get into some of the other mattes. I'm going to go into the Undead Sheriff, this kind of grayish stony color, and we're going to use that as a shade through the crease. I'm just finding a brush. Okay, I think that's decently clean. And I'm just going to tap off the excess and go through the crease. With this one, I'm actually going to use the mirror and the palette because this palette's not that heavy, but the mirror is nice and big. So I'm not going to like I'm not really bringing it over this little fake wing that I have. I'm just running it through this part. But I do want to take a little bit of Bandit Queen through the crease as well. Add a little extra depth there because it is darker than this gray shade. And it's definitely more brown. So I'm going to have it just be a little lower. And bring it up too high. I just wanted to add a little bit more depth through the crease and just, you know, test out more shades, see how they lay over each other. And now let's get into some shimmer action. So I want to get a flat shader brush. I'll use this rougher one, clean it off as best as I can. And I want to go into, I think this is called Garnet Montana. I think MT is Montana. I hope I'm right about that. If I'm not, that's embarrassing. So I'm going into this metallic. It's very creamy. Like it moves around in the pan as soon as you put your brush in, and look how much picks up. Isn't that crazy? This is like a very darker brown. And we're just gonna use that like here, the outer edge. It's very creamy. There's almost like a plumminess to it. There's a plumminess to this, and there's little sparkles. And it just feels like a cream formula, like a wet formula. But it's not like a feeling where it's like too putty-like, where you think it's going to like crease on the lids. It doesn't feel that creamy, but it's definitely on the creamy side. I think I want to use a little bit of Ghost Train. This one is kind of like a purpley, like a muted purpley shade, but a little lighter. And I'm just gonna use that here, like in the center, just in the center. This is also very smooth, definitely moves around in the pan as soon as you put your brush in there. And a lot picks up on the brush, so that's good. If you prefer to use your shimmers with a brush, then you're going to appreciate these shimmers. Now I'm going to take this, I think it's called Rhyolite, Nevada. This is NV. Rhyolite. I've never heard of these places. I need to look them up because I'm assuming these are like where the historic ghost towns are, which I would love to do, like a tour of different towns in the US that have a ghostly history. Okay, yes, very taupey. It's adding brightness in the front. So to add some more interest to this look, I think we need a little blue action on the bottom. So thinking maybe we use these two blue mattes on the bottom, use some of these blue shimmers. Yeah, because you know, who doesn't love a little pop of blue? So let me clean off this brush as best as possible. And how about we start off with Dead Man's Hand right here. It's a deep kind of navy blue. I'm gonna use that on the bottom. Wow, it's very deep. But you can tell it's blue for sure. But we're gonna get more bluey once I go on with the lighter matte. Let's go into Skinner's Saloon. This muted blue. Use that on the lower lash line. Just using the same brush, I just kind of cleaned it off. We're gonna go in there. And I'm gonna use that on the edge. This is definitely gonna lighten things up a little bit more and get it to look a lot more blue against the shades up here. So let's get into some blue shimmers down here. Do we wanna use both blue shimmers? Because there's this one right here, then there's this lighter one. Maybe we'll use both. Yeah, let's use both. So let's start off with Smoky Quartz. It's like a smoky blue. It has little like baby blue shimmers in it. And I'm using this teeny little brush from Ipsy. I'm gonna spray it just to try to avoid fallout. And we're gonna kind of run it a little bit over that matte blue that's in the front. Just a little bit. And then we're gonna like use the lighter blue right in the very front portion. And now let's get into the lighter blue. I'll also use that through the inner corner as well. So let's pick it up. It's called Quicksilver. I think it's gonna be light enough to be an inner corner highlight. Oh yeah, for sure. It is so creamy, picks up a lot on the brush as well. We're just gonna pop it here. We're gonna bring it down here first. Yeah. I'm really gonna enhance that blue goodness down here. Look at that. Looks like liquid metal. So pretty. So let me bring it up here too and have it like kind of connect to that taupey shade in the front. So there is the look, all the shadows that I'm gonna use. I think this came out so cool, very bold. I love that it's muted but still colorful, you know? It's not overly neutral, which I really appreciate. So I'm gonna take this LA Girl Shockwave liner. This is in the metallic formula in Ocean. I figured I'd just do it with you guys on camera. I think this is gonna be the perfect shade to pair with this matte that's down here through the crease. Just really enhance the blue that's down here. There we go. Yes. So I'm gonna go do like mascara, liner, figure out something for my lips, and then I will be right back to show you guys everything done and completed. All right, loves, I am back. I didn't do that much off camera. I just did the final touches to complete everything, and I'm honestly really impressed with how this turned out. Like, look at the eye shape. I think I did a pretty good job. You know, I've been practicing. The first couple times I tried to do like the little exaggerated wing with shadow, it kind of looked a little funky. So I think I'm getting better at it. So what I did to just finish off the look is I went in with the Milani Highly Rated Mascara, mixed it with the Birdie Lashes Mascara, tight line with the Trestique pencil, and then I used this Urban Decay lipstick in their Shine formula in, is it Loco? Cool tone pink. Perfect for this eye look. It's nice and muted. Nothing too crazy or bold, even though I could probably pair this look with a bold lippy as well. And I think that would look really pretty too. So that's it. Do you guys think I nailed it? For such a muted cool tone palette to make something a little bit more my style, a little bit more drama, depth, smokiness, interest. Love all the blue on the bottom part. And so far, everything is performing nicely. So that was everything for look number 1. You guys will have to let me know if you like this look in the comments below. But now let's get into look number 2. Hey y'all, it's another day. Time to get back into this palette that's already totally a mess. But let's get into the greeny shades now. I want to go into Ghost Town. I'm going to use that through the crease and use that as like my initial transition. I'm gonna see how it comes off. Oh, this is a nice kind of sagey shade. I love a good sage. So we're gonna run that just through the crease. We're gonna get it everywhere and just fluff it around. I love the tone of this a lot. Now I want to take Stagecoach Mary, this green right here. It's like a muted olive or like a cool tone olive. And I'm going to use that in the lower part of the crease. You know, deepen things up a little bit. Well, actually it's deepening things up a lot. I feel like that shade is going on the eyes darker than it looks in the pan. Like, woo, that depth is beautiful. You could definitely use this as a deepening shade. I'm going to take a very little bit of Arrested Decay and get like a smaller brush. Yeah. And just use a little bit on the outer corner. Not too much. I just want to lay that on the outer corner just a little bit. Got a little bit of brown in here. And we'll just get slightly deeper. But I'm not bringing it through the crease at all. I'm just keeping it on the outer corner. So I do want to take a little bit of Copper Penny and put that on the lid. The metallic shades pick up a lot on a brush, but they are flaky. They do have some shimmer fallout, so you have to be careful. You are going to get sparkles on the cheeks. It's like really hard not to because they're very foiled and they have a lot of sparkle. I'm going to see if I can kind of smooth that shade out a little bit more with my finger. Don't mind my nails, I need to get them fixed ASAP. But this is just going on a little thicker than I think the other shimmers that I've used so far. So I'm just trying to get it to be a little bit smoother. I think we should now get into the shade called Calico CA, Calico California. I'm assuming that's what it's for. And I'm gonna spray this one as well. Probably benefit from using a glitter primer with these shades as well, just because they're so sparkly. They're definitely like foiled metal shades, and I think they're gorgeous. Yes, so I'm just meshing that in here into the copper. Pretty sure I just want to do the same mats on the lower lash line, just keep everything cohesive. So let me get a pencil brush, and I'm gonna start off with Stagecoach Mary on the lower lash line. I'll use the Arrested Decay in the outer corner and Ghost Town to blend. Basically just doing the same steps, but on the lower lash line. So now let's put a little bit of this shade right here called Gold Rush. This is more of a goldeny olive shade. I feel like I can pull that off as an inner corner highlight. Yeah, I think it will be bright enough. Of course, I like things even brighter, but I think this will do. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit of shimmer fallout. Yeah, I can pull this off as an inner corner highlight. I do wish it was just a little bit lighter and brighter because I really like my inner corner to pop. But overall, I feel like the shades are, you know, a little bit more muted, a little bit darker in this palette. I think the best shade really can be an inner corner highlight is Tombstone. And I'm not sure if that's, you know, light enough if you have very fair skin. I am going to, I think, go and finish off the look. Do I want to add details? I don't think I'll add details. I might just put liner and mascara on, something in the waterline, on the lips, and then I'll be right back to show you guys the completed look. All right, loves, I am back. I put the hair down, and here is the completed look. I really, really love these tones. I love me some muted greens with a mix of copper. It's very earthy, very fall. I love how it leans a little cool tone, but there's a little bit of warmth on the lids with the metallics, and these colors mesh so well. Like olive tones and browns and coppers look so pretty together. I feel like this look is very flattering, and I'm just a big fan. I did also decide I wanted to go a little bold with the look and do something on the lips that was very dark and intense. I was like, what would go with this eye look? And I was like, I figured it out. A deep chocolatey brown. Yes, a good old 90s brown, but nice and deep and scrumptious. So I used the Juvia's Place lipstick in Cocoa, like stunning. And I used the lip liner from Juvia's Place. This is Cola. They pair very well together. And then I used the LA Girl Jet Setter liquid liner to create a wing. I used the LA Girl Shockwave metallic liner in Ocean because it just matches this look so well. And I also used the Milani Highly Rated mascara and the Mile High mascara together to create this look. I mean, the eyes are muted, but the lips are bold, so it just goes so well together. Like, it just makes it look a little bit more interesting with this gorgeous chocolatey lip. Like, I love wearing brown lipsticks, especially in the fall time. So I think this would be perfect for the fall season. This like palette would be perfect for the fall season in terms of like the tones that's in there. But that was everything for this second look. So I'm going to zoom you guys out a little bit and give you guys my like final first impressions on this palette. Y'all, I think this is so fun and cute. I love the palette. I love the packaging, the little holographic vibes on the front. I do feel like there is a decent amount of color in here with a mix of neutrals, but I love that it leans cool tone. I love that it's a very fall color story, a little murky. I think it also matches just the whole theme of the whole, you know, ghost town, spooky vibes, but in a more elevated way. It's not like your typical Halloween kind of palette color story that you would expect. It's like a grown, sexy, spooky palette. If that is even a thing. But I really like the formula in here. The metallics are very foiled. They have a lot of sparkle to them. I notice some of them are a little thicker than others, or could have just been me like layering the shadows up a little too much. And I did have a comment where a individual told me that they would like me to point out the different formulas and shades that I noticed were different. So I'm going to do that in this video. The Copper Penny one is a little thick on the eyes, and I don't know if I just layer too much, but I do notice it's a little bit more textured than like the other metallics that I've used. And you know, overall I think the other ones felt pretty similar, but I'm assuming that if you just layer them a little too much, they can get thick on the eyes because they are very creamy. There's a lot of sparkle in them, but they're gorgeous on the eyes. Really beautiful and smooth. It picks up a lot on a brush, and the mattes are nice and pigmented. There's a lot of depth in here. Like a little goes a long way. They build great. They layer on each other very well. I'm very impressed with the pigmentation in this palette, and I just feel like the matte formulas are just so beautiful now. Like they've really nailed it with their matte formula now, and I just love the formulation of them. So overall, really beautiful palette. The only thing I'll point out is this does lean on the darker side. I do feel like these two can kind of work as inner corner highlights if you have my skin tone or deeper, but I don't know if they're truly light enough for someone who is like very fair skin, because I feel like there's like a slight cast to them. I don't know if like just the cool undertones to them leaves a little cast in the inner corner. I do wish that there was some brighter shades in here, but I am still happy with this palette overall, and I can always pull in brighter shades from other palettes or use a highlighter to brighten things up. But I do like the color story, the theme, the formula in this palette, and I think this was a really good release from Nomad Cosmetics, and I'm happy I picked it up. It's a great addition to my collection, and I can see myself using this all fall long and just living my murky, grungy, cool toned dreams with this palette. But I do hope that this video was helpful, letting you know how like the shadows performed after, you know, doing the two looks, and just giving you my thoughts on the shadows as I went throughout the video. I just try to give you guys as much information as possible to let you know whether this is something for you or something that you may want to pass on. But now I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Did you purchase? Did you pass? Is this your vibe? Is it not? I would just love to hear from all of y'all. And if you're new here and you enjoy this video, you like a lot of fun, colorful makeup content, you like a lot on indie makeup and all that fun stuff, then please hit that subscribe button and join this little family. I would love to have you here. Also, don't forget to check out the description below. I have the palette linked where you can find it, some discount codes so you can save some money. I also link my other Nomad Cosmetics videos that I have done. I have reviewed a lot of their palettes, so if you're interested in some of their other products, I may have already done a review, so all those videos will be there for you to check out, as well as my makeup that I'm wearing in case you're curious about my foundation and all that good stuff. It will be linked, as well as my contact and my social media platforms. I'm also on Instagram as Breezy Lifestyle and Breezy_Beauty. So if you want to join my Instagram fam, I would really, really love that. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and being here and supporting me. I just appreciate you guys all so much. And I just hope all of you are doing well wherever you are in the world, and just sending you guys so much light and love. But until next time, bye guys.